Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I know, تأخرت عليكم. I'm so sorry. Honestly, the timing that I decided to start for my podcast was a bit off. Shouldn't have started before my finals and the holidays. It's fine. At least we started it. I took the first step and now I'm taking the second step by going at it again. Honestly, I'm not gonna talk too much. I just want to get into the topic of today because I'm super excited to talk about this, which is the new reality of women. And it's a topic very dear to my heart. Everyone that knows me knows that this has been something I have been talking about ever since I had a brain to think and to actually understand what's going on around me. I finally get to share my point of view and deconstruct the way I see things in reality, which I feel like a lot of people don't actually have the same perception as I do, and it makes me sad because I feel like if more people would see things the way I do, they'd actually understand a lot more about the reality of women, which is a topic that honestly I think is very misunderstood and there's not enough education about the topic. So I am here to give you some more education about it. I wanted to start off today's podcast by telling you guys a little story that happened to me. It was summer 2021 and I remember I was in Maram Khail with my friends. I was grabbing a drink and it was time to go home. As I was walking back to my car, I stopped by a small supermarket that was still open and I just wanted to grab a snack or something. I don't remember. The Futa supermarket, there's two other guys that are shopping. I don't know what they're getting. There was this old man at the cash register. I think he was 65 years old. So I go in and actually you don't know, but the girls will know. I was in a supermarket at 3 a.m. with two other men that are shopping and then an old guy. So obviously I wasn't feeling the most comfortable. I was getting my snack, but every time one of the men would pass behind my back or something, I was just, unconsciously, I did not realize that I was doing that, looking over my shoulder. And I think it's just our natural way of behavior at this point. We don't even think about it. We're just always aware and looking over our shoulder. And so I finished at the same time as another guy, and then we're both approaching the cash register, and then I asked the man to تفضل اقطع, go ahead before me, and he does. So the man at the cash register actually refuses to serve him, and then he's like, please تفضلي قبل. And I was like, no, it's fine. No, he was here before me. خليه يقطع ما بيأثر يعني فيه انطر. I feel like it's always those late night conversations with this random old person that suddenly wants to share their life story with you and then give you insight on life, and it changes a lot the way you see things. And then he just out of nowhere just starts telling me his life story, and then he looks at me and he tells me بدي أخبرك شيء. أنا عندي بنت وشابين وأنا وعم ربيهم اتعلمت إنه أنا ما في ربي بناتي وصبياني بنفس الطريقة. هو عم بربيهم لاحظ على حاله إنه كان يربي البنت بطريقة إنه دايما تنتبه، ما تضحك لشاب غريب، ما تمشي لحالها على الطريق، ما تسوق لحالها بالليل. The basics. She's his eldest daughter, and then when he had his first son, he realized he did not have to teach him any of that, and that raising him was way easier. So فكر لحاله إنه why is it so much easier to raise a son than to raise a daughter? He was raising them in a wrong way, because why should it take so much more effort to raise a girl than to raise a boy? فكرت لحالي وقلت إنه أنا عم بضطر ربي بنتي بهاي الطريقة الأصعب لأنه المشاكل اللي حجوها بحياتها من الرجال. طب ما أنا جبت صبي على الدنيا، ليه ما بعلمه لهيدا الصبي كيف ما يعمل هالمشاكل للبنات؟ كرمال البنات غير عالم ما يضطروا يعيشوا اللي بنتي عم بتعيشهم من وراء ابنه. He had another son as well, وقال لي انه ربيهم بطريقه انه عن جد يحترموا البنات. basics اللي ما بيتعلموها الصبيان بمجتمعنا، especially مجتمعنا اللبناني. He looked at me and he told me أنا شفتك كيف عم تطلعي بالشباب اللي عم يقطعوا، حسيتك إنك عتلانة هم، فبس قلك اقطعي غير مرة على لا تدفعي قبل وتفلي، اقطعي وما تقولي للشخص اللي قدامك يقطع قدامك إذا أنا قلت لك تفضلي. And honestly أنا كنت شوي شربانة ليلتها وما كنت كتير مركزة معه، بس I remember إنه the drive back home ما حطيت ميوزيك، قعدت على السكت بالسيارة وعم فكر I wish more people did that. What surprised me لأنه it was حدا من ال bigger generation ربى هيك ولاده. why isn't the younger generation raising their kids this way? why does he have way more insight and way more education than some people that have more access to it? القصص اللي قال لي إياها they shocked me, and what bothered me is that they shocked me. What bothered me is that I was surprised that there's not more people that think that way, and that is sad, because everyone should be thinking the way this man is, which kind of introduction brings to our topic today, the new reality of women and the way we are living things, which are totally different than 50 years ago, and the fact that our perception is still kind of engraved in the 50 years ago, and we haven't evolved the way we think until today. I know it was a bit of a long introduction, but I really wanted to tell the story. Shout out old Ammo at the supermarket for this awesome story. So I will be breaking down today's topic in 4 stages, which are gonna be: stage 1, the denial of the continuing discrimination that we are facing; stage 2, how personal conflict affects this reality; stage 3 is woman versus woman; and these 3 stages will lead us to the stage 4, which is the consequences of these stages and the new reality of women. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the first stage, which is denying that there is still an ongoing discrimination. Now, for me, there is 2 main reasons why there is this denial. The first main reason, as I was saying before, that we are still fixated on sexism and feminism 50 years ago, or even older than that. And أنا شخصياً, I've seen this used in arguments so many times. I've had so many people tell me, yeah, but women can vote, women have jobs, women ont le droit, whatever, you know what I mean? And I feel like this is just not valid anymore, because we have a new type of sexism, and this is what I'm trying to say, is that we have new types of discrimination, and society has, evolved around sexism. Like, okay, women can vote, but there's so many other issues, new issues that weren't present before, but they are very much present now. Using the old reasons of why we needed feminism and saying, yeah, but they're solved, so we can move on from feminism. Why are you still عم بتوجعوا لنا راسنا انتوا الفيمينيست وبتضلكم تشارعوا وما بعرف شو? And like, we've all heard this argument. We've all heard someone say this, انه خلاص توجتونا اسكتوا. من اول ما خلقت, women had the right to vote. Like, ever since I was born, I have never witnessed women not having the right to vote. That does not mean I don't still, as a woman, face discrimination every day. It's just a new type. And so using the argument that خلاص sexism is over is just so invalid. I'm so sorry, you are not allowed to use this argument anymore. I have decided that you are not allowed. So our main reason is about sexism, and then saying that sexism is just not there anymore because we're using the old sexism. The second part is taking feminism to invalidate feminism. I'm gonna explain myself. Again, the same people اللي بيستعملوا هول first type of arguments are the same people that use white feminism to explain feminism. Sorry, بس we've all had the same type of people يلي بيجوا بيقولوا لكم you want feminism لأنه بدكم تطوروا شعارات تحت باطكم وانتم بدكم الفeminism كرمال ما بعرف تمشوا مزلطين And this just shows how much these people are uneducated and they do not understand 1% of what feminism is. 1%. أول شيء ما خصك if I want to shave my legs or not. Okay? Just if I don't get to dictate if you shave your legs or not, you do not get to dictate if I shave my legs or not. But this is not the topic we're talking about. This is not the main issues. Shaving your legs or not is not the main issue in our society right now. When women are still facing so many levels of discrimination, and then انت بتجي بتحكينا عن شعارات اجريه, yes, I'm gonna get mad, yes, I'm gonna start arguing, and yes, رح وجع لك راسك لأن I'm an angry feminist. Using white feminism is so invalid. Just using a middle to higher upper class woman, white woman living in the United States, the reference to what are the feminist demands and objectives and goals as your way of invalidating feminism. I'm sorry, but I'm even invalidating that type of feminism. Like, me as a feminist will not use white feminism as well. So again, invalid arguments. If you're wondering what I mean by denial of ongoing discrimination, I've explained the main reasons, and I'm gonna give you a few examples of how I think it بتترجم هيدا الخبرية. The first one I've been talking about for like 10 minutes, which is that classic sexism is disappearing. خلاص, we do not have that classic sexism anymore. This does not allow you to say that sexism has disappeared because classic sexism is disappearing. Other reason why there is this denial is because women don't miss out on job opportunities anymore as much as they did. And I do admit that we've seen a huge evolution around women and jobs, women and equal pay. There's still the gender pay gap, it's still ongoing. If you tell me it's not true, please do some research. And it's not some advanced higher level research, it's just قال جارتك اللي تحت ورفيقتك اللي بتشتغل same job as you, and you're gonna realize that there isn't the same equal pay in a lot of fields. I'm not saying everywhere. There's not the same benefits as well, and this is what I'm gonna get to. I may be in the same job position as a man, and I may be getting paid as much as this guy is, but I'm still being discriminated against. Example to that is that women are undermined, they are considered as less competent than men. This is why أنا وأنت we're in the same job position, and we are getting the same amount of money, and we have the same amount of tasks, but I have to work twice as hard to prove myself in order to get a raise or to get promoted or even have my ideas heard or whatever, just because the tendency of, you know, خلاص we go to the guy, he probably knows better, you know, مسطولة, whatever. So I'm sorry, but it is not the same. You cannot say that women and men are the same in the world of jobs, job opportunities and salaries and whatever, because it is just not true. Once we get past the first stage, which is denial, and then we start realizing, and oh shit, mbala, بعد في discrimination, which is kind of objective things I was giving you, we move on to the second stage, which is personal conflict, and it's more subjective around feminism. Now, this is specifically towards men. First threat to feminism is misconceptions about feminism. I mean that a lot of men, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of men view feminism as anti-male. You know, like for example, the I hate all men trend that has been recently trending on social media. This can feed into the personal conflict of men and then make them think, oh shit, feminism just wants to بدي أشط all rights to men. I want men to have no rights. I want to be يعني أنا بدي أطغى على المن وأنا I want to take over and whatever, which is just not true. The main goal of feminism is just having equal treatment. Equal treatment does not mean same treatment, because we cannot go around and say women and men are exactly the same, because we are not the same at all. We are not the same. Exactly the definition of discrimination is that you treat someone differently because they are not the same as you. This is the definition of discrimination. I'm not saying that I am the same as you. I'm saying that you are treating me differently because I am not like you, and that is discrimination. I deserve to be treated just like you are treated. Men need to get over this idea that feminism is anti-male. It is not. And the biggest example to that is that feminism also answers a lot of questions to male issues. فكرة إنه most problems that women face are because of the patriarchal system. And most of the issues that men also face is because of the patriarchy. Let me explain myself. Whenever I'm having a debate with a guy, the top arguments I hear, بس ما suicide rates أعلى شيء عند men work more difficult jobs, men work more dangerous jobs like construction. You seen a girl work in construction, blah 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 blah. Like that's all the arguments I usually hear. طب ما who set that system up? Is it me? Is it أنا قلت لك روح اشتغل بالconstruction? I said send all men to war and leave the women at home? But it's the patriarchy that created the system. So feminism is good for you. ليه هلقت في suicide rates عند men? Because men set the expectations for you guys that you should be strong, you're not allowed to show emotion, you know, toxic masculinity ممنوع. if men had a bit more room to express their emotions, they wouldn't go to suicide. So feminism can help solve these issues, but you cannot go around saying that all issues so women don't have it as hard as men. You're literally giving these difficulties to yourself. I'm trying to help me and I'm trying to help you as well. So honestly, بس كمان invalid arguments. Another super important thing I want to talk about is the resentment men have towards women for having sometimes special treatment or favors or whatever. But we all know this guy that thinks if a girl gets a free drink at a bar, it means her life is better than his. We all know this guy that thinks that because there's more representation in social media of women issues, is that all they care about now is women ومشاكلهم خلاص شو بدهم بعد, they have everything they need, they work, they go out. this leads to misguided ideologies and misguided opinions about feminism. I think feminism happened for me to get a free drink at a bar, which is not the case. There's also this like new recurring ideology that's emerging from underground or whatever, and it's the shifted sexism belief. This new, I think, BBS scale or whatever that is being studied, which is trying to prove it has not been proven, so calm your tits. They're trying to prove that there's shifted sexism and that now men suffer from sexism more than women. Just because your feelings are hurt because there was a trend on social media that said, oh, I hate all men, and then I get harassed in the streets, does not mean sexism has been shifted. When I say I hate all men, it's not being treated differently. It's just a stupid social media trend that you need to get over your ego and understand why it's coming. Because of the experience men have given me. This is your fault. This is not my fault. Me saying I hate all men is not because I'm sexist and I have no reason behind it. It's because I've had a shitty experience with men and I have resentment towards that, which I have the right to have that resentment, because that has made my life 10 times more difficult. So yeah, forgive me if this happened, but this does not mean there is sexism towards you. It's just kind of like retaliation. So yeah, to end this kind of stage, we need to move on from the fact that this is not personal towards men. No one, I mean, there's always a group that ruins everything, but this, ما فيك تاخد هيدا الجروب and just generalize it. If there is actual women that just want, ما بعرف, to kill all men and whatever, ما فيك تاخدها and just say like, yeah, this is feminism, fuck feminism, حلو عنا. And when men are able to reach that understanding, we can move on a bit. So we've moved on from denial, we've moved on from the fact that this is not a personal conflict, and now we move on to the third stage, which is woman versus woman. Now this is a personal favorite of mine to talk about, because بالنسبة إلي, the worst enemy to feminism is women that are anti-feminists. Let me explain myself. Now there's so many reasons for why women hate on feminism, and most of them honestly are just stupid reasons. There's a few important reasons that we can talk about, but I perceive honestly half of them as just dumb excuses. And I'm gonna give you a few examples. We've probably all witnessed this type of person, and it's the girl that hates on feminism just because men don't like feminism. And it's just like, pick me vibes. Doesn't have specific beliefs. She doesn't actually care about what feminism is. It's just that she perceives that men think feminists are annoying وقال angry feminists وخلاص. So she's like, yeah, أنا كمان بكره الفeminists. They're so annoying. Like, who wants women rights, right, guys? Like, no. Don't do that. Like, have a bit more respect for yourself. البنات, they need to wake up a bit. And honestly, there's not much to debate about this. Like, honestly, if you're just that stupid, that's a whole nother issue I cannot solve. Now, a few other arguments that are a bit more valid. Having white feminism as the standard. And I personally am against that as well. And I've seen this as a struggle from... I'm not talking from white feminism as the side of using it to dismiss feminism. I'm talking about the side that you have the white feminists that want to resolve the problems in the world, and then they're just focusing on problems that white women would have. Therefore, not targeting me, not targeting a lot of women I know, not targeting women of color, not targeting religious women, not targeting hijabi women, not targeting women of the lower class. I understand that this can be a bit iffy, and a lot of women are just against this modern white feminism. But I personally don't want us to just let them take over feminism. I want us to نتمسك بالfeminism and then just keep it as how it was intended to be. خلاص يعني merci Susan B. Anthony, thank you Elizabeth Stanton, ما أعرف شو اسمها, for white feminism and for starting feminism and whatever, but it's just we need to evolve from this. And I get why women are upset about the idea of white feminism, which I am personally against. Now, one of the third arguments, and it's also a very important argument, different perceptions of feminism and the conflict it creates for women. And we're just here standing in the middle of like these two sides of everything and then not knowing what to do. I'm gonna give you an example. Being a stay-at-home mom versus being a working mom. Feminism does not mean I want to force all women to go to work. It means I want to achieve the opportunity of working for all women. Now, if you want to take that opportunity or not take it is up to you, totally up to you. and I should not be judging either way around. And I've seen this kind of recently, women hating on women that want to be stay-at-home moms, like, yeah, you have to go work, you want to have it all, like whatever. Like, sure, if you want that, you should do that. But if a woman just wants to stay at home, like, it's just between you and your partner. ما حدا خصو فيكن. So we shouldn't be hating on both sides. An example of it is body positivity versus beauty standard. Now this gets a bit tricky because, like, for example, I'm a girl. My insecurities, I have my own issues, I have my own etc. And I'm scrolling on my reels, I'm scrolling on my TikTok, بيطلع لي a video of a girl that is working out and then is promoting some type of diet that has worked for her. كل ال comments are like, خلاص, stop spreading this toxic positivity, we don't care about the diet culture anymore, let women be happy, all those comments. Literally one video after, like, I scroll and then I have this girl that is maybe just spreading body positivity and whatever, and then كل comments, you're spreading being obese, you're spreading being unhealthy, women should not be comfortable in that skin, come in, people are hating on her. And I'm just here seeing women hate on both sides, and it's just so tiring for me as a woman to have to deal with that on a constant basis because it affects my mentality. لأنه أنا on some days I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, I'm tired of feeling this way, I don't want to live like this anymore, thinking all the time about what I want to eat. And then I see videos that validate that and let me know that if I'm gonna eat this, it doesn't make me lesser than. And then the next day I just see this girl and she has this amazing body, and then I just see the diet she's in and you're like, fuck it, خلاص, I should diet, I should take care of my health. It's like, why can't you do both? عرفت? And why can't we have just both? If a girl just wants to show you a method that has worked for her, a gym routine that has worked for her, and she's trying to help other girls that are trying to achieve that, that's not wrong. That's her target audience. Same thing for a woman that is spreading body positivity. Why are you hating on her? This is her life. You're not being affected by it 1%. عرفت? You're not being affected 1% of how she's living, on how she looks. If she wants to be happy, she wants to finally wear whatever she wants. Maybe she's trying to diet, maybe she's not trying to diet, maybe she's very healthy and she eats very healthily. I have PCOS. Do you know how difficult it is for me to fight my insulin resistance and to not gain weight? Because my body doesn't work the same way your body works. Like, sometimes I undereat and I still gain weight because of my PCOS. We have so many layers to why we look the way we look, and then you cannot just come and restrict it to خلاص just diet, no body positivity, you're spreading being unhealthy. You're taking so many issues and you're trying to restrict them into just your perception because your body does not have any of these issues. No hormone fluctuation the way my hormones fucking go crazy all day. No opinion. I don't have the same metabolism as you. I don't have the same hormones as you. I'm comparing between men and women or between women and women. Since I have PCOS, my body doesn't burn calories the way your body burns calories. The diet that انت بالنسبة إلك بركة works wonders and it's so easy to follow and any woman can do this, why would they want to promote body positivity? Simply does not work on me. Conflict all the time. كمان another wave, the makeup girlies versus the no makeup girlies, and then both hating on each other. I think we also that Lebanese girl that got got a lot of hate لأنه منزلة فيديو إنه أنا بنت ما بحط makeup وهي حياتك اليوم، أو أنا ما بحب أظهر وهي حياتك اليوم, something like that. I don't wear makeup. Okay, good for you. مين قال لك مجبورة تحطي makeup? I want to consider makeup as an artistry. If it just makes me feel good. Maybe some of it is because of the stereotypes in society that I am being fed into and the consumerism of just wanting to buy endless makeup products come in. But maybe it makes me feel good, it makes me happy, as long as it's not super damaging to my mental health. كل إنسانة حرة بدها تعمل اللي بدها تعمله. You wanna wake up, wash your face, تفرش أسنانك وتفل من البيت, نيالك, you would save like 30 minutes every morning and then sleep a bit more. I wanna wake up, eyeliner كل يوم, ما حدا قاله معي. It's just what makes me happy, and then we shouldn't be hating on each other as well. Like, I could go on forever, but there's خلاص this recurring trend of women hating on each other, and it's kind of creating a new type of sexism from women. يعني we are creating a new sexism إنه hating on women from women. It's like خلاص, can we not be our own enemy? because we should be the ones supporting each other and supporting other decisions. After having deconstructed whole 3 stages, I'll explain stage 4, which is the new reality we are living in. Like, concludes the consequences of all of these stages that we have in our society, and they just all come into one. And this is the reality of women, whether I'm being hated on by men, whether I'm being hated on by women, whether I am they are invalidating my experiences because بالنسبة لهم sexism doesn't exist anymore and feminism is stupid and it's just for people that don't want to shave their legs. Just compiling, and now we have this huge pile of useless shit that is just invalidating my experiences as a woman and making my life 10 times harder. I'm sorry, but we are in 2024. It is not acceptable to still be this unaware about women's realities. It is so easy for you to look around and understand, whether it is from your own experience as a woman or you being a man that has definitely had a mother or a sister or a best friend or a friend or a cousin or whatever that is a woman, and it's so easy for you to see. We need to stop hating on feminism because I want to hate on feminism. Try to understand it a bit more. It's honestly not that difficult. This is just the first step for us moving forward as a society, and that step is honestly very necessary because it's so tiring being as a woman. It's so tiring having these experiences. I know being a man also is tiring and it has all its different kind of aspects as well. But the thing is, men's life is hard because of men. Women's life is hard because of men, mostly. Feminism wants to make life easier for the both of us, so we should just stop hating on it for, I'm not gonna say no reason because I've been talking about reasons this entire episode, but it's for invalid reasons. So yeah, this is basically it for my episode today. I really hope you guys enjoyed the topic. Let me know what you think in the comments. I genuinely want to know if you agree or not, if there's things you think I should have talked about or vice versa. Sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, see you in the next episode.